Hi, welcome back to English 111 Online. This week we're going to continue to work on Core Project 3. And by this time, let's look at the pacing guide for a minute. You should have already have your introduction paragraph and your background paragraph completed and turned in. And I, I will eventually get all the comments made on those when I look at them. You should also have your background paragraph completed and have researched for your body paragraph and have at least one of your body paragraphs ready for me to look at. And that, of course, is by April 3rd, Sunday. But this week, April 10th, Sunday, we're going to add the opposition and refutation paragraph and the conclusion paragraph. And you're going to submit your rough draft to Smart Thinking. So this week, watch this week's video, which you're doing right now. See the notes on the introduction, background paragraph, body paragraphs, make revisions as needed. After I put those notes on there, I know you can't do it until I put the notes on there, but I will get to them, I promise you. Pay attention to the in-text citation, that it matches what's on the works cited page, matches that hanging out part on the works cited page. Continue researching and finding evidence for your body paragraphs. And just as a reminder here, you're finding 3 solutions that will help meet the UN Global Goal that you're chosen. So whether it's no hunger, no poverty, no inequality, you're going to find 3 solutions that will help the problem. And then in your research, find evidence that will support each solution as one that will work. You can incorporate logos, ethos, and pathos into your evidence. Remember, logos is logic with facts and figures. Ethos is inspires that you are a good source for this material. When somebody reads it, they can tell that you have that ethical component because it's well written and well cited so that they can find the information there. And any other way that you convince your reader that it is the right thing to do these solutions to this problem. And then pathos, of course, which we mentioned last week, which is the Greek word that is the root word for sympathy and empathy. So anything that kind of pulls at the heartstrings or even inspires people to get mad about a certain situation, that would be pathos there. So just remember, keep in mind as you're writing this that you're trying to convince or persuade someone that this is an important problem that needs to be addressed, and your solutions are ones that will address the problem and lead to meeting the goal. That's what the whole thing is about. So finish your body paragraphs, one for each of the solutions that you mentioned in your thesis statement. And then we're going to go on after the body paragraphs. We're going to do this. Continue to research, find the strongest opposition to your goal, either to the goal itself or to one or more of your solutions. So if it's something that that people might say about the goal itself, like, we can't really get rid of poverty ever, so there's no reason to even try. I've heard people quote the Bible saying the poor will be with us always, and that is true. But this is not trying to eradicate poverty totally. It's just trying to get your to get some help to the problem so that there'll be less poverty or whatever it is that whichever problem you're working on. And then you want to find evidence that you can refute, where you can use to refute the opposition. And so there is informational here. Refutation simply means talking back to the other side, the people who are against you. There's this link to click on, and from the Purdue Online Writing Lab, OWL, there is information here about doing the rebuttal, how it needs to be laid out, and what it needs to say. So here is the important part: the opponent's argument, your position, and your refutation to that. Maybe the person is wrong because they are just not seeing things correctly. That maybe they have, they mention here with fallacies. Then tell them what it is, how they're wrong in the way that they're looking at it, and the way they're understanding the situation. Or maybe they're just wrong. Maybe they have wrong information, and you want to replace the wrong information with the correct information. So however you want to talk back to them and explain that, you can at that, and this will help you. If you're still not really sure about what a refutation paragraph looks like, I have also added this document this week, a sample Core Project 3 essay that you can pull up and look at it. This is something that I did not write this. It was written by one of my former students, and I asked him, because it was so well documented, the in-text citations, the works cited page, everything was done so well. He had his topic sentences. Everything was good about this. Now, it's not a perfect paper, but it was an A paper. And so I asked him, would he mind if I took his name off of it? Could I share it with the class? And he absolutely said that I could do that. So you can see over here, I've marked some of the things that are really good about this sample that you can follow. This is his background paragraph here, where he's brought in, where he's brought in all of this information about the problem. And notice that it ends with a reminder of the solutions again, and that is to go over. Scroll down here and get the rest of it. That is to remind people that there are solutions. So end your background paragraph with repeating the solutions, and then have a topic sentence for each body paragraph. We've already been over this. One solution is this. And you can see how he brought in information to back up the solution. Another solution is this, and he's brought in evidence again. And then his third solution, and brought in evidence for that as well. Then he is at the refutation paragraph. This is the refutation paragraph, and I say so over opposition and refutation. Read his paragraph and make yours like that, because that's exactly how you need to do it. He gives credence to what the other side says. You don't want to tell them that they're stupid or something like that. You want to state what the opposition is saying. And I told his class, that the student that wrote this, And every class since then, if you can't really find anybody that says, oh, I'm not against poverty at all, I think we should have poverty. Well, you're not going to find anybody that's going to say that anyway. But a lot of the times, if you can't really find somebody saying something that is wrong or in opposition to your goal, then think of the cost of it, because there's going to be opposition to a cost no matter what. And that's what he used. He said some people rightfully oppose the idea of implementing best management practices in urban and rural areas because of the price tag that accompanies it. And then he's gone on to tell why it is worth the price. So that was his opposition and refutation. And then he also has a concluding paragraph here. So you may not, and a works cited page is cited page is perfect, is good. Yours should look like that. So I put this on here so that you could see what an A paper looks like. Because I think sometimes if you don't know what it all put together looks like, you're doubting, you may be doubting yourself. So that's something that's good. You may not copy any words in it. You may not do anything to cheat using that. But feel free to look at how he put it together and pattern yours after the way that he did, because that wasn't a paper that I had. When you get your conclusion paragraph is up here, and you can click on that and get to this how to write a conclusion paragraph in 3 easy steps. You can take a look at that. And then in addition to that, you can I want you to end your paragraph with some everyday things that everybody can do to help, because everything that we're talking about in our solution paragraphs has been about, what somebody's doing in another country, what some big organization is doing to help solve the problem, but not personally what we could do. And I've asked you not to bring in local or personal things into it, just to keep it in that third person. But the conclusion paragraph, you can end it with a call to action. And a call to action would be something that people can actually do. This 170 actions, daily actions document, you can pull it up, and it is in the order of the number of the goals. So first they have, for no poverty, you could get everyone involved, have a classroom, do regular outreach day trips to areas in need, teach a skill or a short course at a community center about computers or something like that. Sponsor a child so they can have access to food, education, and health. That could be, something that you could do for a foreign country, or it could be locally. So anyway, try to find 3 things on here that, or in your own experience, you could bring in something for that too, for what we can do to end poverty and encourage people at the end. Now, don't use you. You can do this. You want to use language that is third person. So these actions could be taken locally, and list some of these ideas that people can do something about it. And so, and there we go. Here's good health and well-being. You're just going to have to scroll down until you find till you find the suggestion. You don't have to use these, but they offer some good advice there that you can do. And I think that's a really good way for you to be able to end your essay using some of those things. So again, that's right here under writing the conclusion paragraph. It's right here, 170 actions. Okay, so this is still just a rough draft. This is not perfection. I don't need to look at this before you submit it to Smart Thinking. But there are some things that you can check it against. You can compare your rough draft to that sample that I'm giving you here. And you can also use this check sheet. This is something that I have added this week too. Look at your introduction paragraph. This is what needs to be in there. If you can check those off, your introduction paragraph is great. Here's the background paragraph. Here's the body paragraphs. And then here is what you need for your opposition and refutation. And here is for your conclusion. Here's what your MLA formatting needs to have. So that check sheet should be something that you can look at on your own to see if you're missing anything, if you need to add anything, whatever it is that if you want to make sure you've got all the things there, go ahead and look at that before you submit your Smart Thinking. Now, I put the link here for Smart Thinking, just like I did for when you had to turn in Core Project 1. And it says here, use this link to submit your rough draft. This is an assignment summary that you can use. So I put the assignment summary right here. So you can copy that and paste it into your Smart Thinking when it asks you for a description of your project. So that's up to date, and you can do that. Remember, when you're at Smart Thinking, let's see. You want to, of course, log in as a student, and then you want to go for writing help, go to the Essay Center, and then when it asks for the description, that's where you put that in. Remember, you have to, the only files that Smart Thinking can accept are Word documents, plain text files that ends in .txt, or rich text format .rtf documents. And so when you download your Google document, you can just save it as a Word document, or it cannot read PDFs. So don't do that. It's got to be, the easiest thing is just save it as a Word document, because Word documents are the first thing that it mentions up there. Okay, so that is what we're doing for this week. Get it all put together, submit it to Smart Thinking, and when you hear back from Smart Thinking, here's the journal for you to put your information in, the way that same way you did when we did Core Project 1. And there it is right there for you to do. Just says copy and paste your Smart Thinking feedback into the journal and add a few sentences at the end explaining how you plan to use the advice you receive from the Smart Thinking folks. So that's what you need to do this week. So I put the on the works cited page, on the works cited page, on our page for this week, I put the pacing guide again so you can see. So by this week, you should be able to submit your rough draft to Smart Thinking. And then, of course, by April 17th is when we're going to turn it in. So next week, we'll have some time to revise before you turn your final document in on the 17th. right before we go on spring break. So if there's anything that you need to ask me about, anything I can help you with, email me and I'll try to answer you as best I can. After I get the comments made on your introduction paragraph and your body paragraphs, look at those comments and use those to revise anything you need to. And use the smart thinking feedback to help you also. But we'll have another week after smart thinking submission to get it polished up finally for the submission for April the 17th. I haven't made that available yet, but I will. So ask me if you need any help. I'll be glad to work with you and help you. And I will see you next time.